Okay, so I got it. Like mad props to Solandy. This guy has a great YouTube channel. Does some just some pretty good exploration of Solana. Does quite a lot with NFTs. And anyway, just super helpful. So and so my challenge, and this is really cool. I'm excited about this one because so far, going through my tests, I've had to create this. I'm doing this kind of create mint every single time I run, run my test. So it's not the same token again and again, which is trying to figure out how to do that. And he has a Discord, and what this video kind of gave me some ideas. So this one is it's around network's lagging a little bit. I was just refreshing. Custom token address on Solana. So this is really cool. He introduces how to get a unique token and basically generate like a key pair, which you do, and I've learned about kind of in the early days. You have kind of a local key pair when you first install Solana on your machine, and you generate a new key pair, and then that's kind of like your local key pair. And anyway, you can generate key pair files typically, but then use for what you would think as wallets. But then I just learned, and I've experimented with it a little bit. So the idea here is like, can I have a token that, to make something persist, to have like a token mint on local net while I'm testing this all out. The idea is to create a key pair, and then you use that key pair, which contains like the public key and private key. I think it's all kind of derived. I don't know all the details, but I think it's kind of, there's like some sort of secret phrase or something like that, or a secret key that is used to then kind of generate. Then you get like a local and private, public and private keys are derived from that, and that's what's stored in this key pair file, which is a JSON file. And so anyway, so the idea here is, so right now I don't have a persistent token, but there's, so SPL Token is a CLI command, and so this is pretty cool, and I think it's this solution that I'm looking for in terms of having something persist. And especially here on test, I don't know how it would work on DevNet or mainnet, but I'm assuming it's pretty pretty similar, because so anyway, this is kind of cool. So using the let me go to, this is the token program guide, but there's the Solana-keygen is a command when you install the Solana, and you have the Solana CLI and such. You have this thing, and so this is like, usually you'll typically just do like Solana keygen new, and then there's like a couple other properties that you can kind of configure, and then boom, it will generate, like, usually use this, or I've used this in the past for like a wallet, seller and buyers and whatnot. So like whenever you're trying to develop like a local stored in a file, like a file wallet, a file-based wallet, this is how you would do it. But with Solana keygen, there's this cool option that you can do grind, and then if I do grind help, it kind of gives you a sense, like this is how you get these custom tokens, such as like, Foxy for the famous Fox Federation, or Atlas, or for Star Atlas, like these kind of things. So I thought, let's try that, and it worked. So I figure let's try doing this again, just going through this. And this is, again, many thanks to Solandy for showing how this is done, because there's an SPL Token CLI, and if you look at this one, you have this chance of, basically, the SPL token is where I first learned how to just kind of the difference between like creating like a new token, like a new mint, and it's got all these commands. But when you do it, SPL has this command called create token. Yeah, so if I go back, SPL token create token help, this shows up here that you can create a token. There are some flags and options you can pass, but you can also pass in a token key pair, which, if I go down here, it's specify the token key pair. This may be a key pair file, which is exactly what we're doing when you do the Solana keygen. This is essentially the CLI version of using key pair generate, like over here in the documents. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so the process is first we generate Solana key gen, and then grind has this cool option where you can do a custom coin. So like, and this is local net. This is all just on my own. Like, so this is not really anything for mainnet, but you can experiment with this. So Solana keygen grind, and then you can say like starts with, and I did daddy, whatever. Which this name, there's a joke with this. It's in Chinese is 超级奶爸. I have a lot of boys, and so this is in Chinese. It's kind of like a term of endearment for dads that actually are involved with parenting, and it literally translates to super milk daddy. So that's the inside joke. But I could do like milk. So the prefix, I wanted to start with milk. I only need to find one of them. I don't need to find like 4 key pairs. I just need to find one key pair that has that. And what other option? There's this ignore case, which tends to be helpful. Oh, and you can even do like, I think you can even specify the if you don't want the actual file, like if you just need to there's a lot of options you could do this, but ignore case, I guess, is like a little less intensive. So invalid starts with prefix milk. Oh, I did. Invalid character L. Oh, maybe because it's is it because it's like too similar to like a 1? Like L's are not allowed? That's interesting. I don't know. And I don't want to ignore case then. What if I do ml? Let me just see what happens. Oh, I must be doing something wrong. So Solana keygen grind. starts with, this is how I did it last time, DADDY. That worked. Huh. Let me just like try toad or toast. Yeah? Oh? Huh. I'm not sure why these, maybe there's something, a typo. But anyway, so this is what it does. It will go through and it literally tries to, Andy explains this better, but it's basically trying to look at all these crazy key pairs out there on this curve that have like associated private keys and public keys and secret, all that stuff. So, which don't come to me for the answers on that. But the longer the text is and the requirements, the more processing it will take. So this very well could take too long because it's just hard to do computationally. So anyway, we can see that this is taking a while. This is like already a minute. It's looked through quite a lot of key pairs and no luck. So I'm gonna, for the sake of like time, I'm going to do Solana keygen grind starts with, and we'll do SMD. Ignore case. That may be a little easier. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's only 3. Oh, cool. Look. One pub key that starts with SMD and ends with something. And here it is. Wrote key pair to SMD, blah, 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 blah. So now if I do a look in my deal, you'll notice I have this other key pair file, but here it is. I think I can specify like where I want to put it. But for example, like if I do make their test, and I'm going to do, I'll just do key pairs. I'm going to move this SMD to, and so like one thing that I asked on Discord for on Soul Andy is like, what do I do with these key pair files? Like it has like all this information. I want to use this as like just a token that I can reuse again and again. He was saying like once you use the key pair and create a new token mint with this current like original token program, then you can like then the key pair file itself is kind of not needed. It's kind of worthless, so you can just like toss it. He did say that there are some changes involved with the token program 2022 because I guess with the new program you're going to have the ability to actually close token accounts, whereas right now it's just you create one and it's just there forever with this original one. I think something like that. So but now that I have this file, this could be essentially like a wallet, this SMD JSON file, and this is all on local net. So like if I wanted to do like cat daddy, like it doesn't matter, this will show like this array, and this basically, my understanding is like there's 64 items. The first 32 are the public key and the last 32 are the private key, something like that. And it's actually like a public key. It's just not a base 58 file like format to display it like as a string. But anyway, so that's kind of how this works. Like I'm not worried about you guys. Like obviously this is very like, don't do this. Don't show this array of values, because then people can have access to your keys. So, but for now, the next step is I have this key pair file, and then I want to use the SPL token CLI to actually create the mint. So again, like when we're dealing with like SPL tokens, you have like you have to create an account for the token itself, and then you have to you kind of configure it, like giving it some supply, and like this is a really good, like straightforward, creating. I'll go through the CLI. You can do this all with JavaScript too, their SPL token. And, I was asking on the Anchor docs, like, how do I, these ideas of like trying to, do I do this stuff like in the Anchor program, like the Solana program in Rust, or do I do it from the front end? And it depends on the use case, but really, like, you can do everything with this front end library, the Solana SPL token library, to create mints and mint supplies and create associated token accounts and all that with just this. So so I think I need to leverage that more rather than feeling like I need to do it in the actual on-chain in my custom program. And I think that's one of the big confusing parts for me with Rust, not Rust, but like these Solana programs. At some point, like I still have points of confusion. It's like, is that something that I need to do in my on-chain program, or is it something that I do from the front end instead? Kind of where that separation, that line, I'm still not 100% clear on that. So for example, when a new user, comes into my ledger, this program, they connect their wallet. I want them to be able to create a ledger. But like this wallet, like when they create this ledger, I want to give them like an airdrop of this, token. And I want, like when they create a ledger, I want them to be able to, at the same time, like the ledger is a PDA account. So I want the stored, the token account field inside of my ledger struct. It's an associated token account to this token. So there's things like do I do that on chain or on the front end? Obviously I haven't figured that out, but that's always been a little bit of a point of confusion for me. So anyway, back to this. So now I have this key pair, but I want to, we're going to use the whole create token. So if I do create token help, I need to pass it. If you look, it's like create token, there's some flags and stuff, and you can do output. There's like all kinds of like little options here, but really all I need is SPL token create token, and then specify the token key pair, which is in my test key pairs, and it's this file. So if I hit that, ta-da, look, yeah, so it actually creates a new token with a matching address. Like this key pair file is saved in the address itself, like that pub key is the same, and the default decimals and stuff is 9. You can specify the decimals when you create a token by adding this option, but default is 9, so I'm just leaving it alone. And that's like the number of zeros in but in front of this, to make one full unit, one full token, you need 9 zeros, and so in front. So so it's like, okay, then you can do like SPL token supply, and if I do SMD, let me go ahead and copy that. Oops, picked up it picked up some of my terminal stuff. So if I do, yeah, token supply, sorry, that's visual word. No, that's why I'm picking up more. So yank. All right, so I should be able to move a little bit faster now. So it shows like there's no supply. I haven't done anything yet. I need to create an associated token account. And what I'm going to do to kind of see, to demonstrate like how this works, this is pretty cool. On LocalNet, Phantom is good. But in the past, if you've seen my escrow program, I mentioned this a few times. The Solflare wallet is pretty handy for LocalNet because it shows the tokens in the wallet and more of the details around it. So here you'll see like this is my daddy token that I was experimenting with earlier before learning how to do this. So we're going to do the same thing. So this is the address. Yeah, this is my wallet. And just like with anything, we've got to first create, if I want to store this SMD token in any wallet, anywhere, I need to first create the associated token account, which is the SPL Token create account. And then, yeah, there's this flag called owner. So like, what is the owner? What's the address of the wallet address that you want to, that's the owner. So that would be this, and I'll copy address, go back and paste. Oops. What did I do? Okay. And then, so you do the flag of owner and specify the wallet address, and then the actual token. So I'll just copy that. No, that did not. Man. Apologies. Let's try this again. What is going on? Okay, you know what? I'm having some issues with this output. I'm not sure why, but all right, sorry. I think I need to take this and just paste this token. For reference, because I'm having some issues with my terminal. This is the terminal inside Vim, and it's being a little wonky for me. But back to this, you have this SPL token create account. So I'm creating the associated account, and this is the equivalent. If I toggle this over to, this is the get or create associated token account helper that we can use on the front end. So, and then you specify the wallet and then the token. And if I go in and run this, sure enough, it creates an account. So this FU09, that is the associated token account. Now I don't have anything, like I just have this account created in that, but if I want, I can do SPL token balance and then this SMD. Let's try this again. It can't find SPL token balance and then address. So like, I need to here, if I just do SPL token balance and then paste this token, this won't work because it's looking for, it's going to say, I can't find any sort of associated token account 9 or P7Z. And that is because if I do Solana config get, you'll see that it's using my local key pair wallet here. And then, so if I wanted to, I could do like Solana address. If I just do Solana address, then the K flag for the key pair file, and I go to my wallet. If I do this, here is the public key. And so when I go back and I try to do SPL token balance of the SMD token, it's actually looking by default to my local, but because I don't have, I'm pointing it to my this other wallet on Solflare. That's why it's saying, hey, I can't find this thing. So what that means is we can, we've created the associated token account. The next step is if I click into here, it has this SMD token, and if I click into it, look, sure enough, like this is Solflare, it shows these details. It has this is an associated account, and it has that FU09 blah blah blah. So that's exactly what we have when we created the create account command, when we did this whole create account command and made the owner this particular wallet. And now I have it. And the cool thing about Solflare on local host is that it will still show these kind of details where Phantom won't. So next I need to mint some supply. So I can do mint and then the SMD where you mint this token. The command is the token and the amount, but I feel like I gotta specify the address. So hang on. Token address, token amount, recipient token account, because by default this recipient default associated token account for owner. And well, I don't know, let's see if I do it may not work because, like I said, I've got my local wallet and this Solflare wallet. So if I do mint, and let's say I do 100, what happens? Yeah, error. Recipient is my local wallet account. It's like could not be parsed as a token account. This is, yeah, I haven't actually created the account. So I need to do SPL token mint, that token supply, but then the recipient address is going to be I'm trying to think, is there a flag or not? The recipient address, recipient token account address. Well, the token account address is this FU09, because that should be right. If I'm going to try to mint 100 supply, yeah. So that was the key. So SPL token mint, the token address, which is this one that we created from the key pair file. We're minting 100 of them, and we are minting to this this particular account, token account, not wallet but token account, and this is equivalent to kind of like your mint to function on the front end, where you have the connection, the payer, the mint, and the token account address, and the authority and whatnot. So now if I go back here, yeah, refresh. It was already there. Didn't mean to. It was already there. I didn't have to refresh anything. But this is my Solflare wallet. Taking a second. Oh, there you go. In here, you can see I now have 100 units. So super cool. This is the actual token account address, and I've got 100 units, 100 tokens. So yeah, pretty cool. And I think that's going to be really useful. In fact, I can use this token. I could try to use this token as like my persistent token. And so, one thing that you can do is like Solana, like the address itself is the public key of this is, it's the name of the key pair file. So if I go back and so we can just use this public key in here. So like that's it. That's this part all the way to the obviously not the JSON, but this is our address. So then how that's relevant to us in this instance is I can basically, because I have this key pair file that I've already created a token, then I can do, like token mint and it needs to be a public key. It needs to be a public key just for the data type. I have the string right here. Yeah. So I'm thinking I could do something like so like this token mint for example, I should be able to, I don't have to do this part, is what I'm saying. Is like I should be able to just do token mint address, and it must be type pub key because that's what you pass to the accounts. So yeah, where else? Token mint address. I think that would work. Now, one thing that I think is going to be interesting is like right now I have my local, let me get rid of, well, so this is, I'll leave this here if I need to come back to it, but this is kind of like the process. You know, you have, it's kind of cool. You can do this Solana keygen command to get a new key pair file, which you then can use that key pair file that has the public, that has a private key and all that stuff to create a new SPL token mint. Super cool. So thank you, Solandy, for that. And I think this could be a good way to persist, especially for me. Now, the thing is, I'm curious, is like right now, my local validator is running. So that means like I've created this token for this current instance. And it should work. So like if I do anchor run test ledger again, I think it should work now that it's passing. Well, hang on. Same wallet. These all failed. Oh, no, it's because I've already created, no, I forgot. So this is failing because I have, I've already created these PDAs are already in use because I've already ran this test. Yeah. So here's the thing that I'm curious about and I need to look into. And I think I have some ideas of how to do this. Is from here, if I do Solana test validator, get this running. Now, anchor build, and we're just going to do the ledger program for now. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think that it persists in this way. Meaning, I don't think my token is going to persist in this way. And what I mean is, like, yeah, I have a new constant, and it's it's pointing to this public key using that. I don't think that's going to work. Because if I look, if I go to, if I don't think this token, if I wanted to do, SPL token supply SMD, yeah, let's try it. Yeah, could not find account because this token has not been created. So I'm pretty darn sure that like if I if I do or Anchor run test ledger, it's going to fail because there is no token mint. Anchor caused by account token mint, account not initialized. Yeah. So not to panic because this is helping me connect some dots. Every time, like I'm doing this on local host. So this is my developing locally, which is I'm using this Solana test validator. And so yeah, naturally, whenever I shut down and reboot up the validator, that's like the whole simulated Solana blockchain shutting down for me. And I reboot it, it doesn't have like this token anymore. It needs to be created again. So one thing is here, I think need to so there's some settings in Anchor. What is it? Settings. Yeah. So, for example, here there are some settings that Anchor has that allows you to, like every time you launch the Solana test validator, you can actually bring in tokens. I think by cloning accounts, and you can clone from like other networks like DevNet and mainnet and whatnot. But I think there could be a way where one option is to, maybe there's a config that somehow points to maybe this key pair file for me locally. So this local SMD, key pair file, and it will go through and kind of like create it again every time I start up this test validator. So then that token kind of persists that way. I could also manually create it every time, so like SPL token create token and do something like that. I wonder if that would work this time. Yep, sure enough, it does. So that's a little bit of a pain. Another option that I'm going to look into is if I don't find something that makes sense here in Anchor, which I think there is, I'm going to look into that next. But there are also ways to do like some sort of kind of like this token mint where using this before sync, this before hook could do like a pseudo derive or create the mint from local key pair, and that may actually be the easiest way. That actually may be the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to look into that. But anyway, I thought that was super insightful to see how this stuff works between the SPL Token CLI and key pair files and whatnot. So big props and shout out to Solandy for sharing that. Super, super cool. So think we're getting a little bit closer to this persisting a single token for my purposes. Okay, so continuing with this, like how to persist a token. Last time went over like how to do it, create a SPL token from a token mint, like a key pair file. But then I knew I've done something like this before or seen a tutorial. It's amazing what's out there. Thank you all to the people who spend the time sharing their knowledge. It's super helpful for someone like me who's, I don't work on a team. It's just something, a little hobby that I do this on the side. So, but anyway, there's, this is from a different project. When I was doing the, there's like a NFT, mint NFT, sell NFT project that I followed along with, and it was really helpful. It's again by the Solana developers, like workshop apps. They're super, super awesome. So what I'm going to do is a couple cool things I've been reading up. I'm going to first, for tests, I'm going to do a new file called utils, and I'm going to paste this. And I don't have any of this stuff in here yet, and yeah, this is like old stuff. I don't think I need that, but this is an alternative syntax to perform the same up there. So we'll see. But so one idea is that I could use something like this, create key pair from file. So essentially going in and using this package, it's like file system. It gives, I think it, yeah, anyway, it's like it allows you to basically read, you need to pass it a file path, and then the encoding, and then from that you use this kind of like uint8 array, which again, remember, like that when you just look at the contents of the JSON file, it's this big array of type int8, items. So uint8. So you can like parse it. So it will read the file and store that as like the secret key string. So then the JSON gets parsed, and you pass that to this basically, and yada yada yada. You get an actual key pair from the secret key. So this is kind of like a secure way of keeping it. Another syntax here still uses this the file system package, but like uses buffer from, then JSON parse, and do all that. So similar deal. So, oh yeah, apologies for my boys being too damn loud. So they're playing outside, and I can't do much about it. So hopefully it's not too loud. But so that is one idea. Is like where I could use something like this to return and basically recreate the key pair that I have stored right here, this JSON file. Yeah. But it returns it as not a JSON, but an actual key pair object that I could then work with. I could use that key pair, I believe, to essentially recreate the token. So also, recreate the mint. from the front end. Like, so this came up as an idea. I found a thread of someone kind of trying to do the same thing, where you can, you know, key pair from secret key, which is what this is doing. However, what I want to do after that is I want to take this key pair and use it to create my mint, all in the front, on the front end, or in my test. That's one way. That's one idea. But then on the Anchor Discord, searching around, Anchor does some pretty cool stuff. Obviously, I mean, it does so much stuff that I I don't fully follow. But as I mentioned last time, there's this idea of like you could actually kind of set some of these. You can kind of clone accounts from different clusters. I'm working locally, but you can basically clone them down to your local test validator environment. You know, it's like, okay, test validator. So I'm not trying to clone anything, but what's kind of neat is test validator.account. Use this to upload an account from a JSON file. So I wonder if I could just in rather than doing all of this, or maybe as a combination, where in my Anchor TOML file, I would add this like test validator dot account, yeah, and give it the property address, which I have to go copy, and then file name, and I think it's just the file name. I wonder, like, I've never used this, so this could bomb, but the idea is like this key pair file. So I need to just get this I just need to get this this file. So what I could do is like ls test key pairs, yeah, and then take this, copy that, and then I should be able to like paste here, yeah, and then something perhaps like that, but I don't know. Use this to upload an account from a JSON file. Boy, oh boy, I don't know if this is the right way, because like, how does it know to look? But maybe if I do test dot key pairs, I feel like I'm gonna have to like give it some sort of location of the file, right? Who knows? So now I don't even know the documents. Like, how would I know to be able to access this? How do you access these accounts? So if you clone it, like, or take any account, you just have it available. Implicitly also clones. Okay. So I'm curious if this is by doing that, do I have, if I go and restart, will it bring in, like, how do I know that I have access to, oops. Wrong key. Anchor. Huh. Anchor keys list. This is like my programs. They're like published. Or not deployed yet. I haven't deployed them, but these are all the program IDs. Solana test validator help. Copy an account from a cluster. Faucet. Load an account from the provided JSON file. See Solana account help on how to dump an account to file. Files are searched for relatively to current working directory. If the ledger already exists, then this parameter is silently ignored. Oh, this may be specific to, like, yeah, don't know. Don't fully know. So Solana account. Address and file name.json. So, like, did it say Solana account? Huh. Well, hang on. Like, if I've got the cluster running locally, then can I do, like, address? Does anything work with that? Which was it? Found argument. Oh. Account not found. So, I mean, my sense is that, like, this would upload an account and make it available on my network, on my local chain. So maybe it doesn't need the path. Maybe instead it really is just straight to, let's see, delete. Could be that, and then I'd have to close this down, reboot it up. And now, can I do Solana? Yeah, still nothing. I need to. Let me see. Solana account. Yeah, not found. Not found. Account not found. Love to be able to. Like, how cool would that be? Brings in an account from a JSON file. So what could I do with that? It may be actually like a data account, though, which may be something completely different. Because, for example, I think that's maybe what's going on. Let me get into a bigger screen. So, if I do Solana test validator help, this part right here, account, load an account from a provided JSON file. See Solana account help on how to dump an account to file. Files are searched for relatively to the current working directory and test fixtures. If the ledger already exists, then this parameter is silently ignored. It's interesting that it's yeah. So I kind of feel like this is, I mean, it was, it's, you know, and it was a good try, but I think this, test validator account, yeah, I feel like that's like if I had an existing, ledger account or something like that, or some sort of program account, and I dump it to a JSON file, then I can bring that in, which could be actually not useful for this particular instance because I need a key pair, and I want to create a mint from that file. But in other projects, like my escrow project, I have kind of like a program level type of account, a struct that I've used to kind of keep track of like the total number of polls created, the total number of votes created, and the total number of profiles created. So like to keep track of that, I mentioned this the other day. Yeah, this program, this example, using kind of a Twitter program, this gave me kind of the idea of like creating a high level deal and having some sort of field that's like vote count, you know, total vote count, you know, things like that. That allows me to, gives me like a unique identifier, like an increment of like 1, 2, 3, you know, as each profile is created or each poll is created or vote is created. And it's just like a high level account. I called that a custom program account. Maybe not the best name, but back to this, you know, I could in a way maybe like see how if I wanted to take that high level account, because I only need to initialize it once at the beginning of, and then it's like just always there behind the scenes for like these other programs, this create custom program account. But I only do it once, and then once it's like basically good and going on the chain, then you never touch it again. And that could be something where I could have used, or could maybe use something like this. But so yeah, I think that's not going to be the right approach. I'll research that more, but it looks like this is specifically for maybe kind of program-specific accounts that they're talking about, and taking that data and that account and just dumping it to a file, to a JSON file. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here on that. So what that means is so let's get this anchor. Yeah. I'm gonna just put a reference to this. You just never know. Something like that. So, yeah. So I'm gonna save that. Let's go back over here. Let's reboot and anchor, build and deploy. Just to, I don't know where I'm at on that. So this is something cool to be mindful of. If you work with Anchor, this test and the test validator has some pretty cool functionality. What I've seen mostly though is people using this kind of validator clone option to clone kind of like tokens and programs from mainnet down to their validator. So like bringing in something like the Metaplex NFT program, or something like that. So I haven't used it much. So back to where we were, where we started from. I'm gonna this utils, this create key pair from file. I'm thinking the steps could be something like creating the key pair from file. So that gives me a key pair, but can I create a new token? Can I create a new token? Yeah, and you're using this key pair from secret key. Can I create a token from a key pair? But using JavaScript, not the CLI, which we know how to do. Well, I'm just, so create your own fungible token. So if I mean, if I have my token key pair, like I want to see, creating the token, supplying it, creating an associated token account. Yeah. But can Well, I mean, maybe I could. So if I do create mint, connection will come from my provider. The pair will be my provider wallet. Mint authority will be my provider wallet. Freezers authority will be my provider wallet. 9 decimals. Hang on. Can you create? How to create a mint account on Anchor test? This is something someone was. Wait, create mint. Well, time to look. Still looking. What am I looking for? Essentially, I just want to be able to do a create mint. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Key pair. Optional key pair defaulting to a new random one. Confirm options, program ID. Nice. Okay, so just need to read the docs. Looks like can be done. Okay, so cool. All right, so if I've got this right, I should be able to use, I've stored the key pair JSON file here locally in my project. Obviously, like committing this and stuff, this is something that should be handled more privately, like it may be environment variable or something like that. But again, I'm just developing locally. Have to address this for when I actually want to like try to push this to DevNet. But the idea is use this create key pair from file. Find this file, the JSON file, and then that will have my key pair object. And then I can use this create mint function. And instead of passing some of this, I'll pass some of these parameters, but I'll also arguments, but I'll also pass this specific key pair. That could be awesome. And then that should be able to generate my SPL token mint. Yeah. So one of the things is I need to, I'm curious, this is like my older version where I used some of this stuff. So MZ is like Anchor 25. Not too old, certainly works just fine. But I remember I've kind of ported everything over to Anchor 0.26 and SvelteKit 1.0 official release. So yeah, MZ. So if I go back, and you know what, I'm gonna close this thing down. Just too many windows. So if I go back here, I have a lot of tabs. Gonna close that. is this? The ledger, create ledger. Probably need that still. Poll, that's a good reference. This test file, I already have it open elsewhere, so closing down some stuff. But what I do need to do is I need to do an npm install mz. There are some high severity issues with this npm audit, and I have not figured out how to fix this. It's something to do with JSON 5 tsconfig paths, but you know what? This is something that comes out of the box when using Anchor and init. So I don't think they're too concerned about it. And when I was Googling around, it seems like it's, I don't know. So that is not my problem to fix right now. So, so I should have MZ available. So let's go back here, ledger, utils. Which one is a little bit more straightforward? So this one needs file path. They do the same thing. But this one's an async function. I'm not sure. Oh, this is a read file sync versus. So maybe let's do this. So I'll do anchor web 3 key pair. Well, sorry. I think I'm going to be this one. I think I'm going to use this one because it's a little bit more explicit as to what's happening here. And so it helps me kind of get a sense of all this. And this async, I could probably get rid of the await and do the read file sync method, but yeah, kind of breaks down like how this stuff is working. So yeah, buffer layout, buffer, cannot find a declaration file for that. I think that may be an LSP restart. Probably doesn't have like type declaration stuff, so I'm not too worried. Oh, here is the that's the token. So not the token, the JSON file. Where the heck? Oh, I closed down the tab. So the idea is maybe doing this stuff here. And I'm okay with it creating a mint every time I run my tests and stuff but what I've been wanting it to do is to create the same SPL token. And that's what we're doing because I'm running on the test validator. I shut it down and reboot it every time, so I have to recreate this SPL token every time I do that because I'm not on DevNet. It's not going to live there and persist. So here, where do I create the ATAs? You don't. The ledger does that. That's what we did last time. So here, I think, is a good place to start. So let's do so now this would be wait, create key pair. No, that's not it. Now the path, this is going to, so let's store this actually. Const, let's just call it key pair, I guess. And it needs the directory, the dir name. Dir name plus, where am I at right now? I'm in the test directory and I need this one and key pairs. So can I do that? Do I need to do it like this? Key pairs? Something like that? I don't know if that's how. So you pass it, the string, to the file path, and then it reads that file by a certain encoding, and then it parses and then generates the key pair from the secret key. Yeah, feel. Should have like a public key property. It's a key pair. Have a secret key. Yeah. I think this works. I'm curious of this vector name. I want to just make sure that it's actually pointing to what happened. Oh, I'm passing it as an argument. Duh, that's why that's not going to work. Yeah, getting confused for a second there. Okay, just curious, like, will this work? So we reboot, come over here, build our program and deploy. I don't need the Vite, the front end really running right at this point, but I'm just leaving it. So now if I do anchor run test ledger, what happens? I should see some logs at the very least. Their name is this. Takes me a lot of tests. No such. Yeah, okay. I didn't need the dot, the period. See, I'm glad I did this. The before all hook for create ledger 1. Yeah, it's didn't need that period, so it's just a straight take this, do a slash key pairs, point to that. That should have better luck. So let's go over here, get rid of that. That should do the job. And now let's see if I can just run it again. I haven't generated anything, so I should be able to. Like, I haven't created like an actual ledger. Token mint. Oh yeah, because haven't updated that. But here we go. Key pair. See, so here's the secret key and all this stuff. And again, like, this is local development, so it's okay that I'm sharing this like this way. But this is what it does. So super cool. So key pair, actually what it is, here's the key pair object, and inside it has this underscore key pair property, which points to another object that has its own properties. It points to an array. This is the public key, so the first half is the public key and the second half is the secret key. Super cool. So then I have this public key. Yeah, okay. So public key, different format. Maybe like if I needed to use it, I need to do some sort of base 58, maybe. The public key for this P, yeah, super cool. Okay, all right. So mission accomplished there. That's working. And then I'm gonna leave this down. It's kind of separate thing. So now this, after the decimals, connection is still the same, and the pair is still the same, like mint authority, freeze authority, all that, but an optional parameter of key pair. Yeah. And then key pair. It's gonna be awesome. I think I can just do key pair. That should do it. I'm curious. Now, the thing is, though, is I have, let's not mess up. Maybe I get rid of this. Prefix is fine. Answer, how do you hard code one? I don't know. I think keep a file. Focus. Let me actually do it before I for sure know how to. So this should be token mint, and then yeah. So we're going to change that. I'm gonna go back to this variable up here, because this, after creating this mint, it should like this base 58 should be this essentially. So let's give it another go. So this time I'm going to shut this down. Shut this down. Anchor, build. We're just focusing on the ledger program at this point. Get this going. And then anchor, run, test ledger. And we should start to see progress. Yeah, okay, things are passing. Even better. Now, did it use the same token? Token mint. Look at that. Look at that. Super cool. Super cool. So that worked. I'm kind of like, I can't believe it worked, but it worked. This is kind of cool. So let me see. Here's some ledger, the hash, created some ledgers. There's some token accounts. Ooh, token accounts, nice. Yeah. You can look at the balance on this stuff. Okay, this is super cool. Wow. That's cool. So like it should, if I go to let's just shut this thing down again. So, you know, I'm working on some new feature. I'm always having to like stop and start this. I rerun it. do this one more time. It's not necessarily persisting in the sense of like it's like this token doesn't live on a constantly up and running blockchain. You know, it's not on the right cluster, but I should then be able to do something like this. And yeah, I saw it in the log at the top. It is again and again creating the same token mint, public key, and all that. All thanks to this create key pair from file path. So this idea that and this create mint, I was wondering like how do you do this from the front end with a key pair, and I just didn't think to look at the create mint signature, but here it is. It's got optional key pair, which is great, and I literally just pass in a key pair object right here and we are good to go. So that, my friends, is that's pretty exciting for me. Maybe baby steps for you, but I think that's kind of cool. So now we can start creating, you know, these all these ATAs that get created for whenever we're doing our create ledger and stuff. We pass in, we need a you know, an address, a public key address to store this associated token account. But in our program method, the create ledger, and if I, where did I put that? Create ledger. Here again, just to recap, this is the create ledger context and anchor init keyword. So it means that we're creating it. We're creating this account. Anchor will help do all that. And when it creates that account, it's going to help us set some properties, you know, verify that the payer is the authority, set the mint to be the token mint that we pass in, and the authority. And so one of the things that I had to do is, you know, how to add a token account. I do need to, for this context, I don't have to store. If I look at the ledger.rs, so the state, notice like properties wise, I'm not storing the actual token. Doesn't, you know, the token mint, it's not being stored in this ledger struct. But it is needed as an account. I do need to pass in an actual mint so that it can use it to, you know, create the associated token account with it. So, yeah, because without a mint, a token mint, then you can't create an ATA. It has to have the ATA is essentially, you know, it's all tied to that mint. So, yeah, that in a nutshell is it. And this helper from that I recall, you know, from a previous tutorial, it's like, yeah, you're using the file system to read to a particular file path. You parse it all, turn it into a uint8 array, and that's your secret key. And then you use the built-in key pair from secret key, which secret key is of type uint array. And at the end of the day, it returns a key pair, creates a key pair from a raw secret key byte array. Super cool. Super cool. So hopefully that was helpful. I sure as heck learned a lot. Props to all the smart people out there sharing their knowledge. All right, next time.